time to speak about this very exciting new hit Netflix series, WAGs to Riches. It premiered in January, and it follows a group of affluent women who are building their own empire while balancing their thriving careers, motherhood, high-profile relationships, and of course, you are married to retired boxer Andre Berto. Are fans going to see how Andre kind of supports you and your personal and professional growth on this series?
They see a little bit. It's a large cast, so you don't see as much as you'll probably want to see of like our personal lives and our backstory and everything. But you definitely see us having conversations where he is supporting me going out and starting to work because he's newly retired. So prior to his retirement, there wasn't a lot of space for me to go out and do these things because I have to be home to, take care of the kids, run the household. So now that he's home a little bit more often, it has given me a chance to start my businesses and pursue my passion. So you will see that we talk a little bit about that, but he is tried and tested, honey. This is 15 years of me knowing him, 6 years of us being married, but he is in it and he is fully supportive.
Well, now that you just mentioned that, the roles are kind of switched here. He's staying at home more, you're out building your career. How does his journey, his career journey, how has it influenced your own career ambitions?
Honestly, Andre is probably the most ambitious person I've ever met in my life. And for him, he's so creative and he's got so much talent. And I think that I'm really inspired by this career, kind of like he's closing a chapter and he's fully the same way that he was committed to boxing, he's committed to business. He's committed to his media company. He's committed to coaching people. He's so committed in all the ways. And he is very much like, jack of all trades, master of many. And I like to think that I am the same. You know what I mean? So he definitely pushed me to just follow my curiosity. And even though I have like a gaggle of children. I've got so many children now, my Lord. Even though I've got all these kids, he's definitely telling me that it's possible that I have the freedom and I have the means and I have the support to really try everything that I want to try and still be very present with my kids. So he's inspired me a lot just because he does so much and he never stops. Like retirement for him is not what it means to everybody else. Like he's just nonstop.
So, like you said, you're balancing motherhood, marriage, your
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
What has been the biggest challenge for you managing it all?
I think the biggest challenge for me managing it is just realizing that there is no balance. You know what I mean? Just coming to terms with the fact that it just so happens that right now my kids need a lot from me because they're very small. And then one day they're not going to need as much. So then I can pour even more into my career. But it's just never, you know what I mean? Like it changes. Like he used to need a lot from me support wise because of his career. Now he's not fighting anymore. He doesn't need that from me anymore. You know what I mean? Now he needs something else from me, support for a different career, or he needs me in a different capacity. And I think that it's ever changing. And once I just kind of grasp the concept of there is no perfect balance for career and wifehood and motherhood and all that stuff. It's just going with the flow and just, I just gave birth to a baby 3 months ago. So the demand is serious in my house right now for me. In 3 months, when he's 6 months old and he's eating solids and also breastfeeding, it'll be a little less. So I think that's what I'm dealing with right now. The acceptance.
Of course. Now, reality TV show, you were managing and balancing all of that while
Ooh,
maneuvering these various personas, your fellow co-stars on
yeah.
this series, right? And as
Mhm.
we know, reality TV often brings a new level of public scrutiny. So
Yeah.
how has being on the show changed the way navigate your public life, navigate your marriage in the public eye?
I'm not gonna lie to you. For the first week, I was in the house. I was not really wanting to go outside because I live a very simple life. I know it doesn't look like that, but I do I'm very much a homebody, always with my kids, always with my man, my man. You know what I mean? So I think it was overwhelming at first. It was very overwhelming for people to have such a loud opinion about me personally, having only seen so little of me personally on the show. Because, it's the show is jam-packed, full of drama, full of stuff, right? So you don't really get to see all of us in our personal nature as much as I would have liked. But that's the name of the game. So I think initially I was overwhelmed. Now it's starting to settle down, and I had to wrap my mind around the whole everybody's not going to like you. Some people, listen, my husband has a saying. He says, if you live by the cheers, you'll die by the booze. So just as much as I appreciate the support and I appreciate people like, oh my God, you're my favorite WAG. I love you. I love your relationship. I love this. I appreciate it, but I can't hold on to it because there's also negative. There's also people who don't like me. They don't like my face. They don't like my hair. They don't like what I said. They don't like whatever. You know what I mean? So, I think that I'm doing a lot of inner work and just appreciating support, trying to drown out the noise, and also, praising the Lord for the fact that for every negative comment I get, I make a sale in my business. Yes, ma'am. So I suppose the show is doing what it's supposed to do because I'm thriving in that sense.
What's one misconception people have about the WAG lifestyle?
Um, I think that the misconception that people have about the WAG lifestyle is um that I think a lot of WAGs are in it for the stuff, the money, the influence. So, you find yourself saying like, it's easy, it's low-hanging fruit to say, oh, she's just with him because of that. Low-hanging fruit. It really is. Like, it's tired, it's old, let's move on. That ain't it. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of things that we have to do as women to support these men in their careers. And it's even harder after their careers because you take the sport away from the athlete and then you see what you're left with. A lot of them can't handle it like that. It's very difficult trying for them to find themselves again. I think a misconception is they think that you have no depth. You know what I mean? They just think you're privileged, and they look at you and they're just very like, must be nice. And, you know, that ain't it. Like everybody has their own heart. Everybody has it. No, I don't have to worry about this, but I still have to worry about all of this. You know what I mean? So that's a misconception is they just look at you like, I don't know, like you either have no problems or you only have one problem, or like your man is this and he's probably horrible and he's a cheater. You just want, no, that ain't it, ma'am. Very happy over here. No, like I think that's it. All the typical stuff they say about wax. That's the misconception.
Right. So, was there a moment this season where you felt caught in the middle? Right. And I asked this for folks who haven't watched all the episodes or haven't been caught up yet. Was there a moment that you could tell us about where you felt caught up in some drama you should not have been caught up in? And how did you handle it without spoiling anything, I guess?
Let me tell you, none of this my drama, but I absolutely felt like I was caught in the middle of all the drama. I don't, let me tell you, social media of it all, I am catching a lot of strays. Honey, I'm catching strays from the left to the right, up and down. I'm catching strays because I actually didn't really have anything with anyone. But when someone is kind of beefing with your very close friend, you know what I mean? Everybody likes to use that term, y'all. And I'm sitting there like, well, how do I get in it? I feel like everything that happened in this season, I'm sitting there, I'm looking like I'm watching a tennis match, and they just roped me right in. They roped me right in. They really did. But that's okay. That's fine. That's my friend. I'm gonna stick beside her. Um, yeah, I was definitely caught up in it for sure.
So, what would you say was the most challenging aspect of navigating all these personalities on this show?
Um, the most challenging part of navigating the personalities is, first of all, getting the word in. Because them heifers don't like you to say nothing. They ain't gonna let you say nothing. Just once things get to a certain level, noise wise, I tend to start rolling my eyes. And I tend to start just communication is very important. And I think when you're dealing with a lot of passionate women, alpha women, what I would consider um very much seen and heard, it gets difficult to communicate. The small problems quickly become very big problems. very big problems that last and last and last. So I think that was it. Because I think what people don't realize is some of us had really natural, organic, and very close friendships, right? And some of the ladies, we were getting to know each other as this is happening. Like we had not dealt with each other more than a few times on a very friendly or surface basis, going out, having drinks, having brunch. You know what I mean? Like friend of a friend. Oh, this is my friend. That's my friend. Now we're all friends. That's what it was giving. So we're getting to know people in the midst of conflict, pretty much. So you get to see how that plays out. Who ends up being really close, who kind of doesn't, you know, that whole thing.
I mean, now that the first season has aired, what's been the biggest impact, either personally, professionally?
My business has been impacted definitely in a really positive way. I'm overwhelmed by how many people, resonate with the brand, how many people like it, how many people like me, how many people want to support my business. Like that's really important to me. So I'm super grateful for that. Personally, I feel like it's maybe just impacted how I feel about myself because it's a mirror, is it not? Like you're watching yourself. And even though the story that's being told, sometimes I think it doesn't fully represent me, but it does represent a part of me. So there are some things that I'm like, oh, I really like that about myself. And then other things, not so much, girl, you need to work on that. You know what I mean? So I'm very introspective in the way that it has been a learning experience. It really has. I never thought I was the kind of person that cared what anybody thought. I am absolutely a person that cares what people think. And I would not have known that unless I did this. So, um, that has probably been one of the biggest things, my career and then just me personally. Now, would I do a season two? The jury is still out on that. No, I'm kidding. I think I would like a season two. I feel like not just me, all the ladies need a chance to really show who they are and their dynamic personalities because we filmed for months and you guys just got like a snippet of it. You can't possibly fit everything, So it just, I think everybody has so much to them, to their career, to their children, where they come from, who they are, their relationships. And I would love if everybody got a chance to really showcase that a little bit more. You do see some stuff and you find out who you like, who you connect with, but I mean, there's just so much to all of us. Like it really is like an incredible group. All the women are beautiful. Um, they're all just big personalities, a lot going on, a lot going for themselves. I would love a chance for people to really, really get to know us. So if I did a season two, that would be why I would do a season two.
Very good. Now, Portia, really quickly, I'm reminded as we wrap, a lot of
Mhm.
people will watch this interview later and they may not have Netflix, right? They may not, or live in a country that a region can't get Netflix, can't afford a subscription, whatever the case may be. Tell us quickly, they want to know more about your business. Is there a website?
Oh,
Yeah, tell us about the business really quick and where they can find out, learn more about what you do.
okay. So Bad Bitch Good Mom is my lifestyle brand and my blog. So I'm a mommy blogger. So you can go to badbitchgoodmom.com, bitch with an X. And you can go from there to badbitchgoodmomshop.com. You can shop all the merch. And you can also find me on Instagram at Porsha Berto. So, I mean, I'm posting about my stuff all the time. I will promote my brand. And one thing about me is I'm wearing it too all the time. So if you need some, I will tell you exactly where to find it. You come to my page, but you can go to badbitchgoodmomshop.com.